Welcome back, everybody. It's time of the video for you. It's been a pretty crazy summer. It's into the fall now, and I haven't really put out a lot of videos over the summer, although I've recorded a lot. I'm trying to get caught up on that. This is going to be the first video in that. This is going to be a simple video. This is actually kind of like in the middle of the things I was doing over the summer, but it's very simple. I'm just restoring a joystick out of a Wico joystick. It's actually just the the ball top and the shaft of the joystick. My friend John in Pittsburgh sent it up to me, and that's basically what I'm doing. I'm just taking this beat up joystick and I'm making it look like it's brand new, probably even better than brand new. And it works out really well, so I'm sharing this with you guys because I think a lot of you guys end up buying a whole new joystick, and in the case of these Wico sticks, you can bring them back looking better than brand new very simply. It's just using some sandpaper, some wax, sandpaper and wax. That's all you need, and a drill. So here comes the video. Kind of recorded it kind of haphazardly, so just to enjoy it, and let me know what you think in the comments. Okay, so here is a Wico joystick, a white ball top that I'm going to restore. And my buddy John sent this up, and so just looking at here, it's missing some leaf switches. Otherwise, it looks pretty decent. I think that the rubber grommet might need some work. It might need to be replaced on it. But basically what I'm doing here is I'm going to just clean this thing up and make it look like new. And one of the things I want to do is I want you to make sure before I do this that I'm not going to take off the finish. And so I've got my little, I'm not using my tripod right now, but I've got my little dental style pick here. And I was just scraping here. There's actually a bunch of gunk on the bottom here, but get this camera right while I'm doing this. So just scratching here. And this is, I just want to see how deep the color goes without it being in a place where it's going to ruin anything. But it looks like any other standard Wico stick. Some people have said that the white ones, the Tighe ones, are actually painted, and they're a black stick. This doesn't look like a black stick. It's even got that little, dimple there. That's all the Wico sticks have this little dimple on them where they come out of the mold. So this one looks like it'd be fine too. I mean, I'm scratching pretty deep here in a place where you're never going to see it, just to see. So when I sand this, I don't want to turn it black. It's basically what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take this whole joystick now. And I'm going to put it in a bath just to soak it and kind of just loosen up all the gunk. And then I'll start actually cleaning and polishing it up first. But I don't even really want to get too. It's kind of gross. Not totally gross, but it's got gunk on it from the 80s. Like that could just be someone's, feces on the back of that thing for all I know. And I'm scraping it off on my workbench. I doubt that's what it is. It's probably actually chocolate. Let's just hope it's chocolate. Okay, so pardon the noise. I've got my vacuum pump running right now. But I just want to show you the next step in this. I'll move over to the light a little bit better. Okay, so I've taken this ball. I've been just sanding it. This is just dry sandpaper. And I've just been slowly sanding it like this. I don't want to go too crazy. You don't want to melt the ball, so you can take a break. You see there's some gouges right in here in the ball top. So we're going to try to minimize that by knocking it down somewhat. So we're going to make the ball's going to be a little small in the end, but not really anything anybody would notice. Going to slowly sand away. Now the one thing to keep in mind is these Wico sticks have got lots of white, they're the colored plastic already, so you don't have to worry about taking off the color. But in some balls, you have to be careful with that. I've also sanded the shaft as well, just by folding the paper like this and going like that. That's taking the rust off of the shaft. So basically, we're roughing this up a little bit before we polish it. We're getting all the discoloration off that we can. You don't want to go too crazy. You want to heat this up, so you've got to take a little break here and there. This is not wet sandpaper, which we're going to use next. It's getting hot, so I stopped. It's just cooled off already. I'm just going to run this in reverse a little bit too. So you see that's still there. It's a pretty deep gouge in it, so I don't want to go too crazy with this. What I might do, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of see if I can get my hand in there. You see the ball looks a lot whiter already. Back the other way. Just such a deep gouge. I'm going to just do a little bit more. I'm going to stop with this part of it. Alright, I think that's good. I mean, yeah, you can still see those marks right there, but I don't want to go any further with this. Might just take a, I don't know. Let's give it a little bit more. Alright, that's enough for that. Okay, just one thing I wanted to show you I'm doing here is I've got my X-Acto with its kind of like chiseled bit tip, and I'm just kind of just shaving this smooth. You see, because this was like kind of like a notch, and while I'm taking off plastic here, what I'm actually doing is just kind of minimizing its appearance. Even though there's going to be kind of a deformity there, it won't be noticeable when I'm done. So just shaving it away so it doesn't look like a gouge. It's going to be a smooth. Almost got it. A little bit right there too. You really don't want to take a lot off, just a little bit. Just kind of knocking the edges off so you can sand it and polish it. I've done this with a couple others. It's a little scary to do it, but in the end it's going to look a little way better. So remember that big gouge? Now it's kind of like a smooth kind of area there. I'm going to sand this some more now. See, it's much less noticeable, but I still need to sand that some more. So now, we've got still a couple colorations there, but you see that it's completely, like, looks smooth now. It doesn't even look like I shaved anything off. Just gonna shave a little bit more, and I want to get these colors out right there. Okay, so now we're over by my work sink here. I'm gonna show you the next step of this. So I got the ball, you know, sanded up pretty good, and I got some 320 grit wet sandpaper. Basically, what I'm gonna do is just gonna turn this sink on a little bit here. So it's just, you don't need a lot of water pouring out of this, just a drizzle. Just gonna put the ball in here, and then just sand it like this. You know, careful not to get your drill wet. I guess you can't see what I'm doing here. Let's try to do this in a way you can see it. Right, so I'm just kind of making a little pool for it. And then just moving it around, sanding the ball. And what's good about the wet sandpaper is it keeps it from getting hot. It also adds additional lubrication for the sanding, so you get a much finer, smoother sanding, keeps the paper clean. You want to kind of see, you want to move the ball around a little bit here. The previous sandpaper I was using was dry 50 grit sandpaper. That was just to rough it up. You'd be there forever if you try to use like 1,000 grit on this. So now we're taking down the roughness. Okay, so now the ball's wet and it looks kind of shiny now. It looks pretty good. So rinse it off a little bit there. So you can see it looks like a nice smooth ball now, but still, once I dry this off, it's going to have a matte finish to it, and we need to get this all shiny. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch from the 320 up to 600, then 800, 1000, and then 2000. And you can skip in between somewhat, just how long you want to spend on it, but you really want to end with 2000 grit. I don't know if I have 2000 grit, so I'm going to try that out. Okay, so I've got some 1000 grit right here. Got my 2000 grit sandpaper here. Got some 400 grit, and then I have one sheet of 800 that I had sitting around. So we're gonna start with the 400. Even though we were just doing 320, we're just gonna run it a little bit in the 400. It shouldn't take long. Let's sheet of. Well, unfortunately, the camera ran out of space while I was doing this, but I can talk to you about what I've done so far. So here's the ball. I've already run over it with the 400, the 800, the 1000, and I just started the 2000 grit on this, so it looks pretty good. I'm just gonna show you. How'd you get down here, huh? I'm just gonna show you the method. So actually I haven't done 2000, just done the 1000. So basically just turn the water on, just a drizzle. So I did this for all the other styles, but you just put it in like this. Keep moving it around. Oh, you can't see it. Let's kind of get a little bit better there. All right, there we go. So basically, just putting it in here like this. Try to zoom in maybe a little bit, might help. All right, so I got it down here. All right, so you can see it. So, I've done 2000 grit there, and I'm going to fold the paper in half, placing the fold this way so it goes up against the ball, so sand the base of the ball too. And it gets the shaft as well. So that's it right there. So I think that's pretty good with the sandpaper. The next step is just run over it with some cleaner wax and then polishing wax after that. Okay. Okay, welcome back again. And we've got this Wico ball top that I've been polishing here. This is just with a 2000 grit sandpaper. As you can see, it looks pretty good. It's got a kind of a matte finish, and if this is what you want, you can stop at this point. So the 2000 grit wet sandpaper will come out looking something like this. If you do it like I said, I started out with 320, then went to 400 wet, 320 regular sandpaper, 420 wet sandpaper, 800 wet sandpaper, 1000 wet sandpaper, then 2000 wet sandpaper. So this is pretty much to get. The only thing is it's really difficult to get the shaft of the stick to look good. It's still got some pitting in it. I mean, it looks pretty decent, but it just never really, unless you take, I mean, you got to take a lot of metal off to get rid of the pitting. So the next step, we want to use something that's a little bit lighter than 2000 grit sandpaper. We're going to use this turtle wax rubbing compound, and this is going to polish it up a little bit more. And basically, I've got a wet cloth here. I'm just going to get some of this on this cloth. Now, I'm using a cotton cloth. Do not use a microfiber cloth at this point because it will actually melt into the plastic because they're made out of, the microfiber cloths are made out of plastic. So we got the ball here. And basically, this is all we're going to do. And you want to keep it in your palm of your hand so if you can tell if it's getting hot, because you don't want it to get hot. You get a little warm, but you want to keep the temperature down because, again, you can melt the plastic. And not that it's going to like melt all the way through, but you're going to damage the surface. You're going to be sanding it off again. Yeah, you want to get the shaft a little bit with it too. Alright, so just go the other way for a little bit. Oh, we've got a guest here. It's my beautiful wife. Say hello.
Hello.
Alright, so let's get back to the polishing here. So this shouldn't take very long here, so I'm sure my wife won't mind standing here while I do this. Okay, so now we've done the rubbing compound, and then we can just kind of clean it off. Okay, you can see it's already shiny, more shiny than it was before. All right, so that's done a pretty good job. We might even want to do it some more. Let's actually do a little bit more because I want to get this really shiny. So we got a nice knot there. It's funny how the drill spins slower in reverse. Okay. Clean it off. Alright, so there's that. Let's wipe it off and see what it looks like. This is the microfiber cloth. Again, you don't want to spin it fast in this because you will melt the plastic. So it looks even shinier now, but still it's not like a perfect shine yet. And I'm wondering, do I want to go more rubbing compound? But let's move up to the cleaner wax. So next step is, I like this Mcguire's cleaner wax. Essentially, it's a little bit less rough than the rubbing compound. Right, so this is kind of almost gone. I'm going to use the same cloth. We probably should get some more of this stuff. But I'm using it in a different spot. Oh, we got a little guy coming down here.
What are you doing?
I'm cleaning something, Virgil. Nope, I'm polishing something.
I thought you were drilling in it.
He thought I was drilling a hole in the cloth. Okay.
How can you polish it with that?
Well, I've got polishing compound here. So stuff for polishing. Use the microfiber cloth now very carefully. Alright, now we got an absolute shine there. As you can see, it's like mirror finish. And I think the only thing we might want, we're going to use a little bit of this carnauba wax last. Watch that. You driving?
Drive in.
Drive van.
Yep. Or I could do drive car.
Okay, so now we're just going to use some regular carnauba wax. Carnauba? Did you say, Jenny?
I thought it was carnauba.
Carnauba wax. Well, I got yelled at because I was saying, I said Mcguire's wrong. I don't remember what I called it before, but Jimmy yelled at me. Well, he didn't yell at me, he teased me. Yeah, Jimmy teased me. Because I was reading it wrong.
What did you call it?
I don't know, it's in the video. It's like, I was like, Mcguire, I don't know, something. I was, because of the crazy font, I wasn't like seeing Mcguire's. Like if you wrote it in regular text.
Was it like
Perfect Strangeros? Yes. I don't know why they choose such a weird font for their packaging. Okay. So now we've got it, still got the wax on. You leave it on, take my, nice catch. Take the microfiber cloth, and again, I'm actually running it fast, but I'm not squeezing very hard. Alright, so now it looks fantastic. Alright, so let's get a closer look at it. You can see it's very, very shiny now. And it looks better probably than when it was brand new. Because I'm sure they didn't polish the pull tops like this. So, looks pretty good, right? Let's go take a look at it in the sunlight.
I'll go the other way.
Alright? Because you can't really catch how white it is, too. Remember, this was very yellow when we got it.
I thought it was supposed to be Pac-Man.
Okay, so can you see it better outside? I don't know. It's very, very shiny. It's very smooth and looks like a brand new ball top. You know, obviously the bottom here is not perfect, but that's not really important. So there you go. You can kind of see a little bit better in the shade here. So you can see how shiny it is, mirror finish. You can see the tree. You can see the camera reflected in it. See that reflection? It's very shiny. So these Wico joysticks, boy, they really polish up very nice. Okay, welcome to the nightmare that is currently my workbench. But let's get this joystick back together. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to clean up the plastic pieces a little bit more with a little bit of Armor All. I personally like this stuff. Some people don't. I don't care if they don't. Ooh, I just kind of scratched myself a little bit there. Too many things going on at once, and I'm not going to take time to clean this workbench off. I'm just going to do it, get this done, get this back to John. Alright. Alright, so that's cleaned off. Get the dust washer. Okay, that looks pretty good, right? The actuator, this looks pretty dirty. It was sitting in all this stuff, but I am not going to go cleaning this because it doesn't need to be. And just press change angle a little bit there. Go. Okay, that's clean enough. Here's the grommet. This is the center grommet, and this is blown out, and it really should be replaced. As you can see here, it's not going to do anything really. It's going to center for now, but it doesn't provide any. I'm going to sneeze. Resistance, which I'm not a big fan of. Wico joysticks, I find them too stiff for my taste. But you know, some games require them, and I think it's the one. You know, certain games like you would never want to play Street Fighter on a Wico, and I've gotten cabinets with Street Fighters. My Naomi cabinet had Wico sticks, Wico optical sticks, and yeah, they suck for fighting games. Now, I'm trying to remember, was this washer on there too? I can't remember. No, that one goes there. Then this goes in like this. Is there two washers? I really don't think it goes there, does it? Maybe it does. Isn't it funny how you try to remember something and then you forget? Alright. Yeah, I think that's the way it goes. Okay, so that goes like that. You see we're missing some leaf switches, and I've got some. I'll probably stick it on before I send it back to them, although they're not new. I think that one's in backwards. One of them's in backwards there. I think the plastic's supposed to face towards the center. Alright, so that's together. Alright, so the next step is to put the ball in. Alright. go. And we put on the actuator, oh, the spring, then the actuator. Oh, we forgot the dust washer. That would be bad. Alright, there goes the spring, there goes the actuator, last is the E-clip. Let's put our cloth here so we don't scratch up our work. There we go. One Wico stick restored. Doesn't that look beautiful? I think it does. Zoom in on that. Ooh, look at that shine. That's a beauty, isn't it? Can't beat that. Such a rewarding feeling getting something look that nice. Alright, thanks for watching, everybody. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, I'm going to be putting out some more videos as we come along, as we go along. Some of the things are like this right here. I got this space station pinball. I traded my Quicksilver for this, and for a Firepower 2 over here, which is in not running shape right now. As you can see, my basement is a complete wreck. So we're going to be doing some video on that. I also got some stuff over here, down there on the ground. Yep, look at that. Okay, so there's a cocktail. Some more videos to happen, as well as some trips. Got 2 trips in there. I think I got a couple other things going on. So I hope you look forward to seeing those videos. I'm looking forward to getting them edited and out the door. So thanks for watching, everybody.